All right, in this video, I want to talk about how we can traverse an array and also count, like test elements in the array and maybe count how many meet a certain criteria. So right now, we're just looping through this entire colors array, right? Oops, colors array that we've loaded from a file. It's got 140 colors in it, and we display them all onto the page, right? We traverse to display them all. Now, what if I want to count, sorry, I'm just interested in a certain type of color. Maybe I want to know what colors start with the letter G or something like that, right? So inside of our loop here, we still want to test every element. I want to go from 0 all the way to the end of the array. But inside of this loop, I want to do an if statement. And I'll say if colors array at position I, which will get me the current color at position 0 or position 1 or 2, etc. And if I want to do starts with, JavaScript actually has a function called starts with when you do strings. So if it starts with a capital G, right? So if this returns true, then I'm going to output it. Right, so I may not print every color now. I'm only going to print out, or I'm only going to add to the inner HTML of my output element those colors that start with G. Okay, so inside of our traverse, we can test each element and see if it meets the criteria we're looking for. So if we run this now, we get all the ones that start with G. Awesome. Now, if I wanted to, now this was a small answer. I can count it myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what if we had a lot of results or a lot more data? I might want to count how many colors start with G. So to do that, we just use a variable to count, right? Just like when we did simulators before, right? How many coins did I get? When you do like a quiz, how many questions were correct, right? We want to use a variable to keep track of a count. So I would just create, before the for loop, we want to create a variable and initialize it to 0. Right, so we do that once, initialize it to 0. And then if this is true, right, if we find something that meets our criteria, then we can add one to our account. And then once the loop is done, then I can do, hey, output element dot inner HTML plus equals, we'll add on another paragraph that says count equals, and then we'll insert a variable count and close the paragraph. Okay, and that should, yep, count equals 7. We found 7 things. So if I change this to starting with the letter A, maybe, we only have 5 of those. I don't know, what would be a popular thing? B for blue. Maybe there's lots of different blues and browns. Oh, 8. Black. Well, you can't see the text. It's there. Yay. Okay, so anyway, that's the main idea behind that. Okay, we can traverse the array, do an if statement inside of our for loop to test every element, and then have this count variable and count how many meet that criteria. Okay, hope that helps. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.